Yeah, we're live.
Good. How are you?
Good. It's good to support you guys.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for coming out.
Guys, like, come on, we're going to the meadow. Okay.
Actually. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Gordon. I'll do it as a part of my
Whenever you're ready, feel free to.
Okay, whatever you want.
Yeah, we have matches right over there.
Yeah, they got the matches.
You're welcome. Sarah. Pleasure.
Saldi.
Of course. Yeah. Not a problem. Anything we do
We're live streaming it too.
Hi everyone.
Do you folks want to hold the mic?
The mic.
We'll go ahead and get started. We're going to start getting seated.
You want me to wrangle people in?
Folks, we're going to get started. Feel free to come up to the front. We have multiple seats here. The program will get started. Thank you for making it out. Hey,
Oh, the mic just has to be turned. Okay. We just need to turn on the mic.
Okay.
Channel 4 is here, so something's good. As far as publicity is concerned. Right? Something's better than nothing. Gotta look at the positive in it. How are you doing?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hi. Thank you all for being here. We'll go ahead and get started with our program today.
Can everybody hear her okay?
Can you all hear me okay?
Yep.
No? Louder? Is that good? Okay. Okay. So on behalf of Santa Clara County Department of Health, the City of San Jose, and the HIV Commission and local partner organizations, I welcome you to the AIDS Memorial Grove. My name is Manye Mensma Clerk. I serve as a commissioner on the HIV Commission, and I'm delighted to see you all here today for this commemorative event. As many of you are aware, World AIDS Day is a global event where the world unites on December 1st to honor and reflect on the lives that have been lost to HIV and AIDS. It is a day where the world reconnects to the fight against HIV and AIDS and also reimagines global strategies for HIV prevention, management, and care. The global theme for this World AIDS Day is Let Communities Lead, to demonstrate that alongside these pillars of HIV prevention, management, and care, there are also dedicated communities who do the work of raising awareness, fighting stigma, and creating safe spaces for people living with HIV to not only live with the hope of good health and long life, but to also live with the freedom to love and honor their partners, lovers, and friends. The AIDS Memorial Grove is the legacy of meaningful action taken by this community to institute an AIDS Memorial in the heart of this city. The AIDS Memorial Grove is a site of remembrance and a complement to the National Memorial in San Francisco, giving San Jose and Santa Clara County residents the opportunity to engage in HIV and AIDS remembrance at a site that is closer to home. The Grove is a product of love, labor, and legacy, and we gather here today on ground that was cultivated and nurtured by community effort. This year, we are initiating a journey of revival for the Grove to reinvigorate the space and offer it to the larger community as a sacred space where all loved ones can be honored. We are fortunate to have with us today members of the community who were involved in and present during the inauguration of the Grove in 1995, as well as members of the community who have now been entrusted with the care and longevity of this space. So we will now hear from a number of speakers who will give remarks and share sentiments on the AIDS Memorial Grove. I will begin by inviting Director Neil Ruffino, who is the Deputy Director of Parks and Recreations and Neighborhood Services, to give us some remarks.
Hi, good morning. Again, Neil Ruffino, I'm the Assistant Director for Parks, Recreation, Neighborhood Services for the City of San Jose, and just a few comments to welcome everyone here to the beautiful Guadalupe River Park. I just want to thank everyone who is coming here and all the work that's been people from the community have been doing for spaces like this, for many, many years. The department's mission is to connect people to places for fun, for safety, and for quiet places for reflection and thoughtfulness. As mentioned before, this AIDS Memorial Grove was established I think by a committee in 1994. The trees itself were planted in 1995. We have 30 pistache trees here that were chosen because they're planted together, and as they grow together, the branches interweave as a reflection of who we are as a community and the need that we have to stay together. As a department, we're always proud to stand on the shoulders of the people who have come before us and who have built this community, and look for us to take the community much further. So there are many more important people than myself who are here to speak. So I just want to thank you and welcome you to our community space. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Director Ruffino, for your remarks. I will now invite my co-lead on this event, Mr. Marcus Durr, who is also an HIV commissioner and a community outreach specialist for the county's sexual health and harm reduction program, to give us some sentiment.
Hello, as she said, my name is Marcus Durr, and I serve as a commissioner on the HIV Commission for the Santa Clara County. Today we gather with hearts filled with compassion and minds united in a solemn purpose to commemorate World AIDS Day, and here in the Grove under the theme, Remembering with Love, Honoring with Hope. On this poignant occasion, we reflect on the lives touched by HIV and AIDS, remembering with love those we have lost and honoring with hope those who continue to fight against this formidable challenge. As we look back on the journey of the global response to HIV and AIDS, we are reminded of the strength, resilience, and solidarity that have emerged from the darkest moments. It is a day to acknowledge the progress made, the lives saved, and the communities that have come together with unwavering determination. Yet, it is also a day to recognize that our work is far from over. In Remembering with Love, we pay tribute to the countless individuals who have left an indelible mark on our lives. Their stories, their struggles, their triumphs, they all serve as a testament to the human spirit's resilience in the face of adversity. Let us carry their memories forward, not only in sorrow, but with a commitment to creating a world where no one else has to face the same pain or loss. Simultaneously, as we honor with hope, we acknowledge the progress we have achieved in the fight against HIV and AIDS. Scientific advancements, increased awareness, and the tireless efforts of healthcare professionals, advocates, and the communities, much like ourselves here, worldwide, that have paved the way for a brighter future. Our hope is not just a wishful sentiment, it is a conviction that by working together, we can overcome the remaining challenges and create a world free from the stigma and suffering associated with HIV and AIDS. So today, let us rekindle the flame of compassion and dedication. Let us come together and renew our commitment to building a future where every person, regardless of their HIV status, receives the care, support, and understanding they deserve. And remembering with love and honoring with hope, we can create a legacy that transcends borders, generations, and circumstances. A legacy that ensures a healthier, more compassionate world for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcus. Very powerful words. I appreciate your sentiments. I will now invite Dr. Janet Childs, forgive me for the doctor, Janet, who is the founding member of the Center for Living with Dying and a former director of the education services at the Bill Wilson Center. She continues her work as the creator and consultant of the Bay Area Critical Incident Management Team from retirement. So Dr. Childs, if you would come up, please, and give us some sentiments.
Thank you, Ms. Monnier. And I would like to invite Ms. Monnier and also our wonderful to light our candle. And the reason that I have created this candle for us today is that it is a symbol of our light. It is a symbol of the light that we can be for and with each other. It's the symbol of light that can take away from the stigma that has so often surrounded HIV and AIDS. And also is a light for all of our community as we come together in hope and healing, and also in memory. It is the way we call forth our ancestors by taking this time out of our day to just sit down, take a breath, and be with each other. Because when we are with each other, my friends, what it does is it creates a weaving of hope and healing and strength that we cannot ever dismantle. Just like the weaving of the branches of these beautiful trees. And thank you so much for explaining to us about the power and the meaning of the pistache trees. Because what it means is that we weave together and we are stronger. We are stronger. And so when we take this moment to acknowledge, many of you have friends, loved ones. Maybe you yourself are surviving with HIV, or you're a caregiver on the front lines who is working tirelessly with HIV. I want you all to know that you are a part of that woven blanket of hope and healing. And by bringing us together in this moment, by rejuvenating and honoring this incredible grove, it gives us a safe place for all in our community, that are disenfranchised, that are alone, that are struggling, that are stigmatized, to come and have a safe place to be, to grieve, and to build hope. To be, to grieve, and to build hope. That's what you all represent. And I look around as I'm La Vieja, I'm an older woman, okay, and I'm looking around at these beautiful young faces, and you are our future. You are our future, my friends. You will help us build this so that it can be an environment that our entire community can understand, that our entire community can partake in. And when we're having a moment where we just need to be in nature, because nature is a profound healer. And when we can sit at the base of these trees, and as one of my beautiful friends, Mary Berry, who herself has done so much for our HIV community, is going to probably start a project that she started many years ago of pavers, of these wonderful pavers that we can put that honor and express our creativity so that this becomes a safe place, a safe circle, a safe circle. You know, we're in times now of what we call 360 grief. And what I mean by 360 grief is with, you know, all that we're dealing with, the pandemic, social injustice, racial inequity, all of the struggles and stigmas that we are dealing with, my friends, right now. We are powerful together. We are powerful together. And we had a saying when the Center for Living with Dying started in 1976. I actually started at the age of 3. Okay. I'm one of the founding members. And in our stationery, our very first stationery was a wonderful stationery that was given to us by James Baldwin. And I don't know if any of you know who James Baldwin is, but he's an amazing writer, activist, incredible person. And this is what our first stationery said. Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. What that means, my friends, is that for each and every one of us, when we have the courage to face it, we can come together and we can change it. And just that act, just that energy, gives us a way to be present in our community. And I love the theme, let communities lead. Let us listen to our community. Let us respond to them. Let us tell them, and they tell us what we need, and let's build a strong structure of support. Let us hear each other. Let us hear the voices of our ancestors as they are represented here in this grove. Let us connect with our ancestors, and let us bring forth that power of healing. This is a space of honoring and meditation and our promise to each other as we connect with our ancestors. These amazing, rejuvenating trees are, as they've grown taller, and if anyone was here when they were first planted, do you remember how tiny they were? And I thought, these spindly, tiny trees, how are they going to possibly survive? And look at them, my friends. Look at them. They are glorious. And I love the way that they change colors, the way that they signify the changes that we go through in our lives, but that we are still standing strong. In our gentleness, we are strong. In our strength, we are gentle. And, you know, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart that in this season, I think it's no accident that in the winter holiday season, we have what we call, what? World AIDS Day, December 1st. There's real power in that. In the midst of winter, we're going to put World AIDS Day. We're going to say, we're coming out. We're going to be having a candlelight vigil later. We're going to have lots of activities for today, and I'm so proud of our community for creating those activities, because it gives us a way to come together in the midst of winter, in the midst of the holidays, where it can be very difficult for us as grieving people. And it gives us a chance to come together and to celebrate the love that survives even loss and death and trauma. And that's the power of these trees, and that's the power of your presence with these trees, that we include and invite everyone. We include and invite everyone to this. I almost see it as a table of nature, where we can all partake at the table. And when we partake at the table, what happens is we make meaning. We can't always fix it or make it better, but just as James Baldwin has told us, by trying, we make meaning. And when we make meaning, we bring hope. And I just want to thank you, each and every one of you, for your part in this. It is not easy. It is still not easy, my friends. We're still in a struggle. We're still in a struggle. Stigma and isolation are still there. We can break down that stigma and isolation. And as this candle flame represents, and even though it has kind of blown out, probably because of my hot air, I'm just going to acknowledge we're going to imagine it virtually lit. And what it represents is the light in each of us that we bring, but also the light that we can receive from each other. It's that infinity of giving and receiving that is so powerful. And so, my friends, as we celebrate this rejuvenation of our AIDS Memorial Grove, let it rejuvenate in your own heart. And I have a song that I would like to sing for you, if that would be okay. I'm an old folk singer, you know, very homegrown. I'm not a professional singer at all, but I'm going to have some folks that are going to help me hold the mic and help me hold the words to the song, because I'm old and I can't remember. But I would love to sing this and dedicate it to you, because you truly represent what I call Heartstrong, and that's the name of this song. So I dedicate it to you. Didn't even use these at all. And I just invite you to take a nice deep breath. sit down if it feels comfortable, get cuddly. And just dedicate the song to each and every one of you. And just go to a place in your heart, my friends, where you truly can just allow yourself to be here. Gentle and deep, strong and true, the landscape of the soul is you, forever reaching into the heart. You bring the river of healing, it is your art. And as you slowly unfold your phoenix wings, as you reach for the stars and the roots of your ancestry, and as you open and touch the sky, oh, you step out and you fly, 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 fly. Ooh, you fly, fly, fly. Ooh, you fly, fly, fly. Oh, my friend, you are here in the effervescence of your soul. You call us forth to be all we can be. You mend us completely. Oh, fly, fly, fly to your deepest heart. Oh, fly, fly, fly. With every step we can start. Oh, fly, fly, fly. Holding hands in the middle of night. We claim the night and we fly with each other. We remember you, we hold you ever in our hearts, and we fly, fly, fly. Ooh, fly, fly into your destiny. We honor your memory, and we fly. Thank you so much. And just take that into your heart, my friends. Take that into your soul and know that you are powerful, you are strong, and your presence here makes a difference for our community and the world. And I want you to do something gentle for yourself as we get into the holiday season. Do something that is a gift just to you, for your compassion, for your perseverance, and for us to help each other build that hope. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Janet, for that beautiful song. You know, as you were singing, I was thinking about what you said about us being in 360 grief. But hearing something like that can make us look forward to having 360 joy, you know, coming back to joy, coming back to having a lot more presence in our lives. So thank you so much for that. Thank you. I will now invite my fellow commissioner, Mr. Gordon Bowman, who is the chair of our Santa Clara County HIV Commission and is also a nurse who specializes in HIV and AIDS care at the county's PACE clinic, to come and give us his sentiments, after which he will introduce our final speaker, Dr. Marty Fentishep. Gordon?
Janet, that was beautiful. You're always such an inspiration to everyone. Good morning, all. I'm so happy you're all here. This place is really special to me. If you look over there, I put Gary at the bottom of his tree, right behind that bench. I come here and it's kind of a flood of emotions. I'm trying to hold it together here. And thank you, Commissioner Marcus Durr, and you, Commissioner Monnier Clerk, for making all this happen today. I don't believe that we've done something like this for a World AIDS Day ever. So this is really nice. How many of you were here on September 30th of 1995? Okay, just a few. All right. It was a very somber day. There were a lot of people here. Dr. Marty Finsterscheib gave the inauguration speech. He also took care of a lot of people whose tags are up in these trees, and I'll explain that in a little bit too. This inauguration took place right on the heels of my losing my Gary. I lost him in August of '95. And so it was very emotional. In the 4 or 5 years that I still lived in the Burbank area, I would rollerblade down here when I would just need to take some time and reflect on all of that. And I would just rollerblade down here, and I would sit on that bench right over there and just reflect. On the day of the inauguration, when the ceremony concluded, we were all handed these little aluminum tags, and we got to imprint the name of our loved one on them, and then tie them to a branch in one of these trees. And so, forever, that tree over there with Gary's picture underneath it will be his tree, and I can always come here and reflect. Although there was a time when the grove wasn't in very good shape, so I'm hoping that we can keep that going. You know, keep it a safe space for everyone to come. And Marty and I were texting the other night, and I said that it's hard to believe that we're even having this conversation 28 years later about this grove. And with that, I'd like to have Marty come up and say a few words.
Well, I'm not going to give a big inaugural speech, so that's for sure. But I do remember 28 years ago, it was a very, very special. We had a big dais over there, and a lot of people were here to kick this grove off, and the trees were tiny. And Janet, thank you for that song. I remember on the dais there was Joan Baez's cousin was on the dais at that time, and so as you were singing, I was thinking, there's Joan reincarnated. It was wonderful. Thank you for that. You're always wonderful. So for those that don't know me, I'm Dr. Marty Finsterscheib, and my career has been with the Santa Clara County Public Health Department for a long, long time. I started back in 1983. So from the very beginning of it, my career basically took a lot of turns, but basically HIV was the part of my career that I am the most proud, for sure. And I was involved with HIV as we called it a pandemic. And you know, this is the other pandemic of our lives. We just lived through and are still in the COVID-19 pandemic, and everyone says that's the pandemic of our lives. But I think we forget that the first pandemic of our lives was HIV and HIV/AIDS. But there was a lot of differences in these two pandemics, and the response, as we know, in COVID was very quick. We had a vaccine within the first year. However, as a lot of us can remember back at the first pandemic in the early 80s, the response was very, very slow. The government never even acknowledged the HIV pandemic for many, many years. It took us from 1981 through 1985 to even get a test, the antibody test. It took 4 years for that test to be developed for the first time, to even show people that they were infected. It even took longer to develop and discover medications. And I remember working in the clinic, we had nothing. We had nothing. I remember giving the first positive results in our county in 1985 and basically saying to the young man, "You're positive and we have nothing to offer you. Hopefully you will do the right thing, stay healthy," but we had nothing. We had no medications, we had nothing until we started the first clinic, and then began as the drugs rolled in, which were again not until 1987. So again, it took a lot of time, and unfortunately people living through the first pandemic suffered a lot of discrimination, a lot of issues around fear and hate, loss of jobs, and it was certainly a very difficult time for all of us. But we learned from people that I remember from the patients that sat across from me, we both learned about this epidemic, about this pandemic, and as far as how to treat it and what the effect of a lot of these drugs were going to be. There was a lot of fear, a lot of tension around whether to take the drugs or not, what they will do, and how people would respond. There were a lot of lives were lost, again, but a lot of what happened to make things better occurred because of the community, and a lot of you remember the activism that we had to have in order to develop the drugs, the clinical trials, and it wasn't easy back then. It wasn't a given. As I said, the government was not allowing the medications. Oh, I accidentally turned it off. But we've come a long way, and I was in the health department early on, and I was thinking back, this is 2023, the first cases of AIDS in our community were reported in 1983. So it's been 40 years since the first cases of HIV, 40 years. Again, the Memorial Grove has been here 28, but the pandemic started a lot longer than that, and a lot of time has passed. There have been many here, and in being here, it brings back so many memories. There have been many heroes throughout the years, and I point out to the providers, a lot of you who are providers, a lot of you in the community who were volunteers, a lot of the scientists that work so hard on developing the treatments and the drugs, I think. But to me, the true heroes were all of those brave individuals and courageous individuals who were living with HIV every single day, who had to deal with all that this pandemic brought, who had to take the medications every single day and deal with all the medical issues that they faced every day. They endured a lot more than the rest of us. They faced the unknown effects of the disease and the treatments, the discrimination, the abandonment, the loss, jobs and family, a lot of those that were thrown out of their families and basically came to community to face the struggle. And as I said, a lot of us remember being here in 1995 when this road was first dedicated. And again, the trees were small. but the struggle the struggle endures, and a lot of us again will continue to work on that fight. So as we look back over these last 28 years since the Grove came, we remember with great love. I remember with great love and admiration all those remarkable people who are no longer with us. The battle isn't over. There are more than 1.2 million people in this country that are still living with HIV and AIDS. And the thing that worries me the most is that there are still over 32,000 people that are newly infected every year. 32,000 new infections every year. And this isn't so different. I used to use this number all the time when it was 40,000. It was 40,000 all the time. It's only dropped in all of these many decades, and it's still way too high than it should be. Unfortunately, a lot of people think, well, if I get infected, there's just a bunch of drugs I can take and I'll be fine. But that's not the message. The message is that we've got to keep ourselves protected, do what we need to do to prevent this illness, and not allow 32,000 infections to occur every year. I know we want to get in this county to the year 0 and not have any more infections, but we all have to work very hard for that. And I know it's possible. I know it's possible. And again, it just takes that community struggle. And unfortunately, a lot of times that battle is just within a very smaller community and hasn't been taken up by our country and by the larger community. It's been my greatest honor throughout my career, and I mean this truly, to have worked with those that have worked on AIDS and to support so many amazing people over these many years and decades. And again, as Janet mentioned, again, there's a lot of young faces, and that's what we're going to need to fight this pandemic and the struggle. But there are a lot of us old people, again, who I think are here basically so that we won't forget, so that we will never forget that how this began and the struggle and those that we have lost. And especially close to my heart are the names and faces of those beautiful souls, those brave souls who are no longer with us. And I have in my bedroom at home, I have a shelf with many pictures of those friends and even my patients that became my friends and who we have lost. And I look at those faces every single day, and it tears at my heart to know that we were too late for them. And they were dear friends and dear souls. We will never, and I will never, and I know most of us, all of us, will never forget them. Thank you for all being here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fentersheb. Thank you, Dr. Fentersheb. We appreciate you being here, and I feel that he's very modest in talking about his background, but Dr. Fentersheb is a pioneer in HIV and AIDS response in Santa Clara County. His early intervention clinical program was the model for the state. So he's really been someone that we need your voice and we need your expertise and your history to guide us as we move forward and continue this fight. So I thank you so much for sharing, for being here as our elder. And also, you're not old, you are our elders now. And so we're going to be calling on you for counsel very often. So thank you very much. You and Janet as well. Thank you for being here. So alongside carving out a path to revival, we are also here to pay our respects and honor departed loved ones. As we planned this event, my co-lead Marcus came up with that beautiful slogan of remembering with hope and honoring with love. So I will now open the floor to anyone who wishes to share a remembrance of a loved one who has passed away. There is no pressure to come up. We may just be here together in silence for a few minutes and remember in our hearts. but the floor is open if anyone wants to come and say some words. Okay. Mary Berry, if you come and join us.
Hey, how are y'all today? As a woman living with AIDS for over 20 years now, I've gone through some struggles. I've seen stigma. I've seen stigma. I've been rejected. I've been dejected. It's been hard, but I've also seen a whole lot of my friends that aren't here today, and that's what the Grove means to me. Because when you're living with this disease, you get to know a lot of people and share with a lot of people. I always said I'm a gay man in a woman's body because that's how I always felt, because I was the only woman for many, many years that would go to these groups. And it was kind of weird. And at first I was kind of looked at and not really accepted, but everybody came to accept me eventually because they knew I wasn't going anywhere. And I have received a lot of love from this community. I've received a lot of support from, starting with the PACE clinic, actually, and following my doctor like a horrible stalker through 3 places. Told him, you better not move across the country because I'm not really wanting to go back to the snow again, but if you go, I'll follow you. And poor Dr. Brooks. He was an amazing man. He is an amazing man. Anyway, Bo, Steve were my first roommates with AIDS. Bo got it very, very early. And I remember the struggles he went through. At the end, the last time I saw him, he was in hospice in San Francisco, and he had a stent in his brain, and they were dumping medication into it to try to do anything they could to save him. Doctors went to all lengths back then to try to figure out something to do with us. The AZT that we took landed me in the hospital getting IV infusions because all my red blood cells were gone with the medications. I mean, it wasn't an easy path. It's gotten much better, but I don't want to see young people anymore getting this. There's no reason anybody out there has got to get AIDS today. We all know how we catch it. We know what we need to do to prevent it. So this 2,300 a year, how many thousand?
32,000.
32,000 a year. Doesn't that seem a little ridiculous when we know about this? I don't know. I feel like I need to step it up. I need to do something more than I'm doing. And I'm here if y'all want to talk about any ideas. I have a project in mind to make this place colorful and lovely. The Stepping Stone project, I've been working on it for a while. And anybody want to talk about making some art and sharing it in the community? Come see me after this, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Mary Berry. We will definitely be reaching out and seeking you for some artistic expression for the Grove's revival. Is there anyone else who would like to come and honor a loved one or say a few words, anything on your heart or mind? So as we conclude our time here, if I may direct your attention to our star of the show today, which are the trees. In honor of World AIDS Day, we have dressed the trees with the red AIDS commemorative ribbon. So on the table, you will find some markers, some Sharpies, and I invite you to take it and write a message to a loved one, sign their name, remember anyone that you would like to be a part of this moment, and allow the ribbons to speak for them. So we are so thankful to all of you for bringing your presence, bringing your history, bringing your gifts, bringing your energy, bringing your hearts to the Grove. We hope that going forward in this path to revival, we will get input from all of you and give the Grove new life in a way that it makes it more accessible to our wider community, but retains the intention that this is a space of honor and remembrance. So I thank all of our speakers today, Dr. Marty Fentishev, Dr. Janet Childs, my fellow commissioners, Gordon Bowman, my co-lead and Commissioner Marcus Sturr, and our representative from the city, Director Neil Rufino. So thank you all for being here. We hope that we'll see you at the other events for the day. The AIDS Memorial Quilt is opening at 12 noon. It will be on display all day at the Billy D. Frank Center. There is also the City Proclamation at 12:30 and flag raising, as well as other events, and there's schedules on the table that you can take with you. So thank you all for being here. And we wish you a wonderful, hopeful World AIDS Day.
We definitely need some to
And I did not know this was
That can happen.